All right, so had a little time today and I wanted to get this center console concept that I saw on a video here on YouTube on the GTX. So I've purchased the center console. It's out of a 15 to 20 Challenger Hellcat, and I'm converting it to fit inside the GTX. Down the road plans is a American shifter assembly that'll fit a little more fluent within the center console, as well as adding Apple CarPlay into that center console, just to modernize it but keep it on the console and keep the dash clean. So what you're gonna see today is my process of cutting, trimming, making adjustments to that center console so that it fits inside the GTX body. So hope you enjoy. If you got questions, let me know, or if you got advice on future pieces of this, because I do want to utilize all of the both of the cigarette lighter adapters, as well as the USB port for that future project. Any tips or tricks would be appreciated. So appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy. All right, so today I have a little bit of time. I'm gonna modify, work on this center console that I got for the GTX. So eventually it's gonna be, it'll hold the shifter. It's gonna have a nav or a Apple CarPlay that I plan on putting in it. But for now, I need to cut out this section so that I can seat it around the shifter that's in there right now. And then I'll hone it in a little further as we go. So the first thing I needed to do was unhook all of the cabling that's under the center console. So my intent is to keep all of the plugs. So over here we also have another lighter, and then above that we have the USB port. So I plan on keeping those, but the rest of the wiring eventually will get de-threaded and streamlined, so I'm only using what I need to. But for now, the process is gonna be, I just need to trim right along this edge so that I can have room for the shifter that's currently in the car. So in here on a regular Challenger, the actual shifter assembly bolts in here and then the shifter sticks out. But for now, what I need is basically just this opening so that the current shifter can sit down in there. So a little bit at a time, just trying to streamline it. But then like up here, I'll have an Apple CarPlay. So that's kind of the intent. All right, so here's the progress so far. I've managed to trim all of the interior side of where the shifter plate was, and of course I did it in chunks and pieces, so it's was easier to manage with the Dremel. I used the Dremel and ended up using a handsaw for these hard to get areas where the Dremel just wouldn't fit right. So now I'm going to do a little bit of clean up around a lot of these plastic shavings, soften these edges up with some sandpaper, and then I'm gonna do a test fit in the car. All right, so here's what we're working with. The car already has an aftermarket shifter. It's kind of bulky, but as you can see, classic cars, they didn't really think about cup holders or, you know, places to put things that we're using today. So first goal is just to kind of get the center console put in, and I'm going to pull the covers off this shifter plate and see just how it sits inside of that center console assembly. See what we can do. All right, so first test fit. Got the shifter knob off, I got the plates off. But as you can see, where this shifter sits, this this corner right here still needs to be trimmed off. Then that'll free up the entire center section for the console, for the shifter to actually seat down in there. So we're gonna go ahead and trim this section right here. Try again. All right, so now I just got done trimming this whole piece out. And now we'll do another test fit and see if the shifter assembly clears that. All right, for the moment, now it does seat over it, but I wanted to go back and then put this plate cover back over the current shifter, because it actually tells me whether it's in park or reverse or drive, just for a little more awareness. So now let me see if the console will fit over this. Okay, close. It will, but I'm not done trimming. So I need to trim this last little piece right here. Then the center console will sit flush over the current shifter, which will make things easier when I upgrade to a different shifter later. So back to trimming. All right, so now that piece has been trimmed up this edge and flush here. Keep in mind, I'm trying to save room up here on this top portion because I want to install a Apple CarPlay up here. So I'm going to clear the shifter now. I think everything's going to clear, and then I want to do a test fit with the actual cover back in place, and we'll see how it all looks if it works together. Okay, so back the camera a little bit. Okay, so current shifter is sitting in the center of the center console. It keeps it from pretty much being wobbly, and everything clear. So now I'm going to do a test fit on that cover piece and see if it works with it right now. All right, that's what it looks like sitting in there right now with the shifter, the current shifter that's in it. I want to eventually get up to an American shifter, which is the push button shifter, and the assembly is going to be a lot more sleek. It's going to fit down in here real well. Then I can add a boot to it, get it covered up nice and neat. The ultimate goal will then be, I'm going to cut out this portion here, and then I'm going to place an Apple CarPlay inside here for my navigation, for my music, for Waze and everything I use in the car. Then eventually new gauge clusters with a new panel across the front that covers this hole up and makes it nice and clean looking. Of course, new carpet, and then it's going to be painted a different color anyway. So, but for now, this gives me the most important thing I need right now: cup holders and a pocket to put stuff in. So test fit's good. I'm going to keep it in here because when I do drive it, I want to make sure it's practical and functional. But yeah, thanks for watching.